Hello, everyone from Chelsea Fan TV. Um, we've just lost 2-1 to Man United. This is the first game in over a year I haven't gone to. The last game that I didn't go to was Zagreb away. The last game Thomas Tuchel had before he got sacked as Chelsea manager. Unfortunately, because of some personal circumstances, I couldn't go. I had tickets for the game, but I just couldn't go. So I was obviously very disappointed not to go, but I watched the match on Amazon Prime and it was a prime performance, but not from us, from Man United. They were better than us in every single department except the goalkeeping department, really, if we want to be brutally honest. I think Sanchez had an okay game. He had a lot more to do than Onana. Sanchez made some great saves. He made a nice double save from a number of players, but I think the standout player's got to be McTominay for Man United. I'm just gutted, guys. I knew we were going to lose this game. I predicted we would lose. I was negative going into this game, but you still have an element of hope, right? And when you're watching these matches, you should be able to look at it and say, you know what, I can see something here from a number of players. It shouldn't just be one player that I'm seeing things from. It should be a number of them. Um, yeah, we just started off the game. We were shaky, couldn't fucking retain possession to save our lives. You know, what's going on with the ball retention? Nicholas Jackson, what are you doing? Oh my God, I'm standing up to this man in the group chat because I've got people firing shots at Nicholas Jackson. And I said, you know what? The lad was good in pre-season. Give him time. Allow him to develop. He's our top scorer. He's young. He plays for Chelsea, guys. He plays for Chelsea. So try and get it right. I am the most patient fan there is on this channel. There's no doubt about that. If anyone watches this channel on a consistent basis, you can't name one fan that backs this team more than I do, that really gives the players excuses and allows the players to make mistakes and take it with a pinch of salt, you know, because I played sport. I know it's not easy, but guys, we're not even going to stay in the top half of the table. If we keep playing like this, Brentford are going to go in front of us. Fulham. Come on, people. The rate we're going, we'll probably lose to Everton as well. For all I know, they might catch up to us as well. Now, that's not realistic, but the performances I'm seeing, they're not showing much. I'm looking with my eyes to see something, and I'm seeing nothing. Cole Palmer is the bright spark in this team. And even for me, didn't have a great game, Cole Palmer. Didn't have the best game. Didn't have a terrible game. But, you know, still wasn't as influential as I thought he could have been. But it's difficult when you're playing with a bunch of people who are just not doing their jobs. Nicholas Jackson, again, I highlight you, my friend. You're not going to be my friend if you keep doing this because the hold-up play was not there. And when you did get the ball, where were all these flicks coming from? We conceded the second goal because of or the first goal because of a silly flick from Jackson, and the number of times we could have been away on the counter and we just give the ball away cheaply. I don't think Caicedo had a good game. I don't think Fernandez had a good game. I mean, quite frankly, it was shocking in terms of the build-up. Absolutely shocking. Sterling, for me, not good enough. Mudryk shows sparks, but again, a player who needs time to develop. But, you know, I am going to give Mudryk a little bit more leeway. Why? Because I haven't seen Mudryk consistently playing in a Chelsea shirt. And that's not the same as Jackson. That's not the same as some of these other players. So for me, they deserve a little bit more stick, right? You've had the opportunities. You know the team. You've played under the system, and you know how Pochettino. You know what Pochettino wants you to do. So why can't you do it? Not everyone can have a good game, but this was the game. Lewis said it. Everybody said it, right? If you watch any of our previews, this was the time to beat Man United right now. They were terrible, mate. They couldn't even, like 50% of their last home games, they couldn't win. And Chelsea just bottle it again. Top four is over. Top four is over. I'm coming out and I'm saying that right now. I feel like an idiot for saying that we could have done that in the first place. But for me, this December run was going to decide how that went. And if we managed to go on a run, we could have really built up the momentum. But you're telling me with teams like Aston Villa, who just beat Man City 1-0, Newcastle, we're not catching up to these guys. You know, Champions League football's a write-off. As far as I'm concerned, I'd be lucky to get Europa, even Conference League. I'm glad in a lot of ways that I didn't spend my money to go up to Manchester. Obviously, I want to go and support the team. But it was just so disappointing, guys. I mean, I'm not criticizing the effort from these players. I believe the effort is there. I believe the fighting spirit is there. You could say mentality, whatever that means. You know, when I talk about mentality, there's definitely no winning mentality. We can't get 1 point, let alone 3. Broha was really unlucky at the end not to score. You know, really gutted for him. I actually think he was okay when he came on. It's not easy to make an impact when you only come on for 10-15 minutes. And I think Broha, he was positive. Reece James tried to make things happen. And when he was in Man United's end of the pitch, he was all right. But my God, we almost conceded. I mean, 2 times he flicked the ball on for Garnacho. Garnacho should have scored. They should have scored 6, 7. They had over 25 shots, guys. 25 shots. Over that. I think it was a 29. How are you conceding that many chances? How are you conceding that many chances? You're a top Premier League team. Forget Chelsea. Top Premier League team. And you're conceding 29 chances. I don't even know if Luton would have conceded that against Liverpool the other day. They just got promoted. Oh, Thiago Silva, you know, he's putting his hands up. He's saying, "What's going on?" I agree with you, Thiago. And some would say he's too old. I do not agree with that whatsoever. I think Thiago Silva's not been his best this season. But are you telling me there's many other players that are going to be better than him? When you're playing with a bunch of numpties, you need someone who can hold their head up high, carry the line, lead the line. And yeah, I thought Disasi had a rubbish game. I don't think Cucurella did great, to be honest with you, but he was only on for 45 minutes anyway. Colwell, lackluster. I mean, guys, it's horrific. It's absolutely horrific what I'm seeing. And why did we only make 2 substitutions as well? If you are looking to imprint and make an impact on games, 2 substitutions. You've got 5 available. You know, if you actually look at the ratings of players, very few players have a rating above 5. What does that tell you? Extremely poor. Man for man, rubbish. Absolutely rubbish. People said, you know, on the fan cams, they're more worried about the stadium falling on top of their head than they are losing 3 points against Man United. Well, guess what? We've done it. And we've been doing it. Couldn't beat Man United for over 10 years. And when they have one of their worst stints in club history in terms of, you know, league form this season and the bad records they've been breaking, the fans are on their back. You know, these are good things for us, guys. Old Trafford wasn't loud. It wasn't rocking. I couldn't hear anything. And we just can't take our chances. We can't finish anything. I don't understand it. And for once in my life, I'm coming out of that game. And look, the penalty that we gave away and conceded with Enzo Fernandez was soft, but it was a penalty. And it was a fantastic save from Sanchez. You know, so I really don't have much bad to say about Sanchez. You can talk about his distribution all you want. Let's not act like Kepa's distribution was great. And Mendy's was shocking as well. So, you know, we've actually got a very good shot stopper who is releasing the ball early for us to try and counter as well, which is something that always frustrated me with Kepa. The amount of times we had the ball on the transition and we fucked it up. It's just a lack of quality, guys. Can't keep our heads. Simple passes, square balls, hold on to the ball, take an extra touch, release the ball. These are the basics. This is not complicated. I'm not a footballer, and I can see this when I'm in the stadium and I don't have the replays. But actually, one of the few times I watch this stuff at home on Amazon Prime, get the opportunity to actually hear what the pundits are saying, see the slow motion replays, understand the context behind everything rather than just seeing it once and having to make an opinion from that. And it just proves that we are really, really immature as a team. And this is not a reflection on Pochettino, right? He's made the decision to come out to Old Trafford, to come out against Newcastle, difficult away days. Away days that we could win, and you could argue we should win. And we try and go out there and play good football. But if you don't have the players to do this, if you don't have players that can take opportunities, it doesn't matter how much you create. Really doesn't. And when Cole Palmer takes his chance in the first half, you're saying, wow, we're actually in it. There's a little bit of hope. But in the back of my head, I'm still thinking to myself, Eric Ten Hag is under much more pressure than we are, because right now, losing is a normality. Because of how bad we were last season, a lot of Chelsea fans, and I would include myself to an extent, are happy just to see a team that's fighting. Because we didn't see that last year. The team that actually want to play for Chelsea. And that was where I was at. And I'm past that point. And I've been past that point since Brighton, since Newcastle. I've been past that point where it's like, listen, I'm really glad that we're showing a bit of effort. It's not bad. You could single some players out and say you could do better. I'm looking at it from a team perspective. I'm seeing a lot more effort, but the quality is just horrific. Horrific. How are you conceding 2 goals again? How are you conceding 29 chances? How can you score simple opportunities? How have we not come out of this game with at least a point? So ultimately, I'm just gutted. I think that the referees were okay. Nothing to complain about there. This is just a very, very poor performance on our side. And, I can't comment whether it's the worst of the season or not, to be honest with you. I don't know. But it wasn't great. But the thing is, we had the opportunities. And that's what concerns me, is even when we're not playing great, we can't do what Man United can do. We had a bad game against Brighton. I understand that. But ultimately, we were saved by VAR at the end. It was never a handball in the box from Cole anyway to get the penalty for Brighton. But we were saved, right? We were saved by VAR. And we're relying so much on luck this season, but we're not making our own luck. We're just waiting for it to come to us. It's really concerning. I'm just gutted. And, if you guys agree with me, let me know. If you disagree, let me know. But, we can't keep losing games like this. It's unacceptable. At this level, where we are in transition, it's an absolute disgrace to see Chelsea lose week in, week out. If we lose to Everton, I'll be honest with you, I'll be very angry. But I won't be surprised. But then continue that bad run of form. You got Sheffield in the league, Newcastle in the cup, Wolves. At this rate, I can't see us being anyone the way we're playing, because if we're conceding a lot of goals, we're not scoring, and if we're not conceding, we're not really scoring either. We can't outscore teams. We can't nick a win. What can this Chelsea team do? But my faith is still very much in Pochettino. Don't misconstrue that. But very, very unhappy with what I've seen.